You know that world-shattering feeling you get when you've poured dozens, if not hundreds of hours into a personal project and something fucks up? Somewhat comparable to the feeling of investing a lot of time into a show, a very, very long show that has a bad ending. Except for one key difference, you cannot wipe the slate clean and start anew. Dexter, a very celebrated show, having been nominated and actually winning several dozen television awards. It's universally agreed that the first 4 seasons of the show were its best, which, off the bat, I do agree with. But it's not like the quality of writing nosedives, it's just that there's a behemoth tectonic shift during the season 4 finale, which kind of knocks the show in a much different trajectory, and the show does kind of flounder here and there after that.
Just a cat that hiccups and farts at the same time.
Cute.
Still, Dexter is absolutely brilliant and is 100% worth watching. Michael C. Hall is top notch. His characterization of Dexter is one of the strongest I've ever seen in long-running television, with such a unique character that has such natural progression, aided by friends, mentors, and past mistakes. His family, like Deborah, Rita, and his children, keep him tethered to the ground. The writers do an excellent job of keeping Dexter likeable, even when he is just downright villainous at certain parts in the show. I can't think of a single reason why a person shouldn't start this show. That being said, I must warn you that there may be some disappointment in the cards further down the line.
I am the last person you want to fuck with, because I will fuck you in ways you never even imagined.
From start to finish, Dexter is repeatedly self-identifying himself as this emotionless monster, yet repeatedly shows a keenness towards human connection, and he has avid empathy. Whether it is genuine or is just abiding by the code, the end result is still the same. Dexter is emotionally stunted, but he's not a monster. Rita's death was the beginning of the end, as this is when it's solidified that no matter how good he tries to be, he is still always punished for hesitating or not following his urges immediately. Had he killed Trinity earlier or let Trinity kill himself, Rita would still be alive. His initial hesitance with Deborah on the table almost led to her death. Dorks being on his tail for as long as he was led to Dexter being caught red-handed. Had Dexter have been this emotionless, reasonless monster, he could have just killed Dorks earlier on and saved himself a lot of trouble. His development from season 1 to the end of season 4 is all mostly from following his dark passenger, yes, but he is trying to be better for his friends and family, and when his family, or rather the anchor of his family, Rita, is killed, all that is lost. Which is exactly why Rita's death is so heartbreaking. Not only do we lose who is frankly Dexter's best love interest, we lose the kids. Dexter loses so much of what made him Dexter, all because of his hesitation. In season 8, he hesitates, but for a different reason entirely. He doesn't need to kill anymore. He doesn't need to kill Saxon.
No, I don't even want to be here. I'm feeling a much stronger pull. I don't need to kill you.
And what does Dexter get for this revelation and finalization of his arc? Deborah goes into a coma because of the injury she sustains from Saxon as he makes a getaway. Also, Vogel, forgot about Vogel for a second there, he watches this kind of pseudo mother figure he begins to somewhat care for die, mostly because of her hesitancy to kill her own son, which is understandable. But what I'm really hammering home here is that Dexter is always trying to do better and repeatedly referring back to Harry's code, hesitating to follow his instincts, his urges, and he's always punished for it. It's really frustrating to watch, which is why I think the ending of the original show fails so much. It should have been the one and only time that he wasn't punished. Saxon should have been caught, Deborah should have got with Quinn, Dexter, Hannah and Harrison should have escaped to Argentina or anywhere, lived happily ever after, blah blah blah. The ending we got spits in the face of every single ounce of character development and progression we made along this fucking 8-season journey. Not only does Dexter in his crazed, grief-ridden state take Deborah's body and put it in the ocean, like what the fuck was that? He also technically is the one that kills her, because he's the one that pulled the fucking plug. I'm not saying this is entirely out of character, but it's just difficult for the audience to watch. Do you know what I'm fucking trying to say? It's a slap in the face, not to just the fans, but to all of the beloved side characters too. Yeah, this show's not just about Dexter and Deborah. All the side characters are equally as amazing. Angel, Quinn, Masuka. This baffling ending leaves them all suspended midair, no real conclusion for any of them. Quinn deserved a happy ending just as much as Deborah and Dexter. Angel especially, he's basically the one and only true straight go in the entire show. So the heartbreak that he suffers losing Deborah and Dexter on the same day, what were the writers thinking? Speaking of what writers were thinking, what kind of crack were they smoking when they made Deborah fall in love with Dexter? I was kind of down with it anyway. Like, I felt confidence they could have made it work. Deborah's love for Dexter is less a sexual one. The way I interpreted it was like, it probably isn't even romantic either. She could just be hopelessly in love with him but not seek a relationship, if that makes any sense. That's how I interpret it anyways. She's always had unhealthy relationships with the men in her life, always sort of been confused about that kind of thing. Dexter getting mixed up in that kind of thing is not completely, you know, out of left field. This poor woman has been through fucking hell, and how dare you kill her off steps away from the finish line. So here's a few bullet points as to why the ending sucked so hard. The antagonist got the last laugh again when he absolutely fucking shouldn't have. All development and frankly everything is fucking wasted from, you know, start to finish. Dexter leaves Harrison alone, which every other like season finale from the show, he makes it very, very clear that he wants to be there for Harrison. Like at the end of season 3 when he says he wants nothing more but to be there for Harrison.
Till now, when it's all gonna be taken away, I want to be there for him. I've never wanted anything so much in my life.
All the morally good characters are left empty and frankly wasted. Dexter, New Blood, while I think it was actually pretty damn good, didn't do a whole lot to fix any of these things. In fact, it kind of worsened things, to be honest with you. I do love the conclusion where we get a repeat of season 7's finale. Dexter is ready to accept his punishment to be freed by the person he loves most. Season 7, Deborah was going to shoot him. New Blood, Harrison does shoot him. Dexter is perfectly fine with letting it happen, but to get here, he kills another innocent. Frankly, we can look at this as him mercilessly following his dark passenger, as this really was the only way to escape and see Harrison. Do I condemn Dexter, or rather the writers, for making this character decision? No. I think it does finally show some willingness to survive and his drive to really finally be there for his son. But yet again, the end of this season, Harrison is left alone and Dexter is, you know, dead. But, you know, come on. Original Sin is going to air in December. I'm especially excited for that as we now know Michael C. Hall will return to narrate it, and I'm sure they'll do a fine job. I don't really have much wishes for this show as I really don't know what it's gonna be about. Maybe it will show more of Deborah and Harry's relationship, we'll see. But Dexter Resurrection, boy do I have high expectations for you. Actually, frankly, I don't. There's way too much to fix, and some of it is truly unfixable, so I'm not expecting this show to work a miracle, but I'll keep my expectations realistic and doable. Quinn. I don't really expect him to return, but he absolutely should. Show him happy, show him married, show us something. Just show us that he is okay, that he has recovered from all the shit that happened to him over the course of the original show. Masuka would be like a cool Marvel-style cameo.
The 14-inch strap-on.
But he didn't really suffer quite like Quinn or Angel did, so I'm fine just with leaving him, you know, on the bench. Angel absolutely has to appear. We were robbed of a Dexter/Angel confrontation in New Blood. I think Angel could or should be the main cop pursuing Dexter in Resurrection. Maybe Dexter's on the run again, Angel is on his tail. I don't even care if Angel is pursuing him in anger, in vengeance, but I would like them to have a conversation where Dexter at least makes him understand. Angel, if anything, is owed an explanation. Harrison, obviously he should return. If he doesn't, literally, what is the point? What do I want from Harrison's character? I kind of like where they left him at the end of New Blood. It showed that, yes, he was damaged, but not quite the monster that Dexter expected him to be. He couldn't quite stomach the gore and the blood like Dexter could when they killed Kurt, so yes, he had a dark passenger of his own, just not quite as malicious as his dad's. Just give Harrison a happy ending, please. Where should this show leave Dexter? Frankly, I'm okay with him dying, you know, for like the third time. I was actually okay with him dying at the end of New Blood. He was freed from his demons, free from the torment of this false Deborah plaguing his mind. But it felt rushed. I want Resurrection to really show some maturity in how it deals with its audience's emotions. Give Dexter another chance at redemption, maybe a chance to, I don't know, sacrifice himself for good. A bit cliche, but honestly, we're past that point now. We're already way past the ridiculous territory road sign, so I don't care. Don't just arrest him again and let him rot in jail. Dexter does not need another tragic ending, for fuck's sake. Also, just because he dies doesn't mean it has to be sad. It could be something beautiful, but only if everything else is right. It's been 10 years now since the original show finale aired. Let's get it right this time round. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.